Hi, we're Mark and Andrew from Beatcamp. We recently spoke to Simon Hills, who manages Axtone Records, one of the most respected labels in electronic music, founded in 2005 by Axwell. It was the label that launched the Swedish House Mafia and now has a string of Beatport #1s.
We asked everyone in our community to submit questions, and we want to thank you all for your suggestions. It's very important for us to have you involved to ensure that we're asking the right question to help you move forward in your career. So, here are the answers. So the first one is Jean-Pierre Lantieri, he's one of our producers. The question is, do you guys listen all the demos you get sent? Is that human possibly?
Now, yes.
Okay.
To be honest, when there was less of us, it was physically impossible. But now, yes. Every demo gets listened to by a real human being. Not every track is listened to in its entirety, because it tends to be, you don't have to listen for that long to know it's no. It's not physically possible to reply to everyone, unfortunately. I mean, if I had enough, I guess it would have to be an 8-day week and a 30-hour day to be possible. But now everything genuinely gets listened to, like I said, by a real human.
We've got a question from Emiliano Omari, which is like, what's the biggest challenge you face as a label? You're obviously kind of like a really well-established label with lots of great music and probably your pick of kind of artists. So yeah, what do you see as a challenge at your kind of level?
I guess the biggest challenge is just finding new music that collectively we're all passionate about. That's kind of the first and last consideration that we have, really. Because you can make a track quite easily that sounds quite good, and I guess sort of going through all these tracks that sound quite good, whereas before, straight off the bat, you'd be like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But now you can get great drums, you can get a nice pattern, you think, oh, actually, it sounds quite good. But for us, quite good's never been, it doesn't even touch the sides. But there's so much average music out there, and it's just going through all that and still kind of keep that kind of threshold up.
Another one of our producers, Mike Jolly, asked, I guess kind of touching on platforms, what you think of Apple's new music service, and how you think that kind of other streaming kind of services affect sales for independent labels like yourself?
Well, obviously, as it's today it's mid-June, so I don't know when this is going to come out, but it's not launched yet. I think it's an exciting time, and I guess going on what I was just talking about before, really, it's kind of everything is an ever-evolving beast, and that keeps it exciting. Certainly keeps it fresh. In terms of like the sales, you can't deny that sales have sort of peaked, and I personally believe there will always be some kind of download market, but I think it's inevitable that it's going to keep on going down. But from a point of view of if you're looking at income streams, again, it's changing all the time. But I guess we're fortunate in the sense that even though we're UK based, we are quite synonymous with Sweden, obviously. Mm-hmm. And Sweden and Scandinavia as a whole has a very established market for streaming. So we've seen Spotify has been great for us on a business point of view. The amount of discussions about streaming, you would think that like Spotify is this ubiquitous system globally, but it's not yet. If it was, it'd be happy days, really, because if you look at how it is in Sweden, I think the publishers there, I think they're earning as much as they ever did. So that's a good blueprint, hopefully, if people could follow that through. And now if Apple, apparently they have 300 million users on iTunes, if even half of that, or half of those became paying customers. That'd be great. But as you know, the music industry is always evolving, and that's exciting, I guess.
So you see potential in
absolutely. I mean, I guess the something that people don't talk about as much as a kind of, I don't know why, but the biggest streaming service really is YouTube. And they've got something like 1 billion users, so that massively dwarfs even the 300 million we're talking about with iTunes. But that's still, I mean, if obviously YouTube, the music key thing is in beta at the moment, but it seems people are using that. Yeah, it remains to be seen, but it would, it'd be interesting when one really kind of wins out.